So if you guys are catching this on replay, I know there's nobody in the room. I figured I'd just get started, let you know what's up. So you don't see like dead air, me waiting for people to come in. Hot summer day in the 90, in the like low to mid 90s here in New York. We're in the middle of a late summer, like a late summer heat wave. It's actually pretty damn hot today. I'm on my way to work. I wanted to kind of go live while I'm in bumper to bumper here, not doing anything unsafe, guys. I have clear view of the road. I'm not really looking at the screen that much. And I wanted to kind of chime in on two videos that I just posted. One video being, what's up, Mike? How you doing, buddy? Can you hear me and see me okay? I'm on 5G, so I don't know if I'm coming in clear, if it's not pixelated, or if you can hear me and all that over the AC, because it's freaking hot. I got to keep the AC blasting. Let me know how it sounds before I actually go on. If not, I'll just kill it. Video audio good. Perfect. All right, 5G, go nuts. All right, awesome. Go freaking T-Mobile. So, you know, sometimes I get a better signal with fucking 5G than I do with Wi-Fi, which is really insane. But anyway, I'm not complaining. One video being on a little bit more of the negative. I wouldn't even really call it negative. It's more of my opinion that maybe not be too much in favor of the build, that people are getting turned off by the sword build. But honestly, it just, listen, you guys watch me because you want me to give you my honest opinion, and that's what I do. And it may not, I can't look at every sword and be like everything is fantastic and there's no problems. I also like to give the sword and the manufacturer the benefit of the doubt and talk and really dwell on more the good points and the bad points, but I got to include the bad points as well. So that's one. And on the other video that I posted is going to be all positive. Really excited as far as what's coming, you know, and what's been introduced and all that. So let's go with the most recent video I put out, which actually it was only posted about went live about an hour and a half ago. It was live for members for about a day or two, but it went live to public about an hour and a half ago or something like that. So that video was, I believe it was titled, "Can we really call this a medieval katana?" Now, I believe that was the freaking title. Can we really call this a medieval katana? And it was a sword, and I tagged Shadiversity, which is a pretty big sword channel. I doubt he's going to respond to it because I've tagged him many times and he doesn't respond. You know, small channels like mine, you know, like they don't bother with unless you call them out. But I had tagged him a couple of times. I tagged him on this one. He he didn't develop. He kind of put in a design request because he's more of a longsword, medieval times, European swords. That's what he's more into. Katana is like secondary to him. In fact, he belittles it sometimes. Doesn't really look at it as being such a great sword for him. I mean, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Everybody has their own opinion. I don't give a shit. But it's not even here or there. He does have respect for every sword, but his thing is more towards European swords. Okay, so he wanted to have like a crossbreed hybrid of a katana with European flair or influence. So he asked Romance of Men, which is a sword, Romance of Men katana. I've been dealing with them for many years now. They do some great work, budget friendly, pretty good fit and finish. I think they're an honest forge. I speak to the frequently, and he's a good guy, and I can tell basically they're all on the up and up. They're not like in the same realm as a lot of the other companies that had this whole sword thing going on, but that's neither here nor there. I digress. Okay, so Romance of Men had sent him samples, had sent me samples. I've been doing it for a couple of years, and I guess in the past, and they just started talking. Said, this is what I want to develop. Well, actually, Romance of Men approached me years ago, and they said they wanted to start doing some more custom swords, but not just custom built swords. Like you have Jakku, you have Swords of Nordshar, you have Hanban Forge, where you can go into their site and you can custom build your sword from their parts bin, from like their different types of saya from their parts bin of the Corsairi, the Fuji, the Kashira, the types of Ito wrap, different type of color ray skins. You go from their stock bin and you can kind of build together like the motif of the sword that you want, with the steel that you want, with the geometric that you want, yada yada yada. What he wanted, what Romance of Men wanted to do is kind of try to customize certain pieces of the sword, like custom subas. They would actually really make a mold of a custom suba according to whatever the client wants. I think eventually, but I think he's gearing it towards also content creators right now, or people who are into swords or review swords like myself. And I have a line that I'm working on with him right now, which until it's really down packed and ready to go, I'm not going to even we're not going to release it. It's been going on for about a year and a half now. But again, I keep on drifting away, but I'm just trying to explain to you what they're doing. So I guess they approached Shadiversity, which is a big channel, million point something, 1.6 1.7 freaking subscribers. They got a big fucking channel for a sword channel. I mean, probably the biggest that there is. Matthew Martinez, what's up? What's up, everybody? I can't really look at the screen that much. Gargoyle, I know you're in the room because Mike said hello. So I'm just kind of just yapping right now. I'll be able to look at it here and there because I'm driving. So they approached him saying like, let me customize a sword for you. And he came up with like, oh, let's do a European / katana sword. All right. I guess that's what they tried to do. Okay. Now, at first when I looked at it, I'm like, no, this is not a European katana sword. I did an open boxing. Nice build. I like the color scheme. I like the leather around the Suka at first. I just liked how it looked. I liked the fact that they customized the Suba. Now, if you haven't watched any of these videos, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But I put out 2 videos. One with a Shadiversity. Shadiversity is in the title. One was the open box. And one I just posted about an hour and a half ago, at the time of this live being live, of me actually cutting and testing and seeing how it feels in the hand. So you might not have even seen it yet. So what I did was, at first I talked about the details, the measurements, a little bit of B-roll, fit and finish, and my first overall impressions of what I think, what kind of job I think they did in terms of trying to make a medieval katana or a crossbreed or a hybrid. At first I didn't think it could have been in that. It wasn't that good. It wasn't, it wasn't really enough. It was more katana than European sword, with little flares of something from the Euro sword. And still to this point, even to this video, I still think the same. But now I added in more things that I think they could have changed and made better. So what I did with the sword was right off the bat, I put in the negatives the fact that this sword is not balanced like a katana. When you first put it in your hand, from the second that I took it out of the box and put it in my hand, I held it in my hands, I said, this is not balanced right. This is not balanced like a traditional katana, and it's going to throw people off who have swung katana before. It's going to throw them off. It's maybe for European sword it might be better, but it still doesn't have the pommel, the guards to counterweight it, So there was no counterweight. So what I had said is, all right, in order to make this like this, I said in the video, the blade needs to be different. It looks too much like a katana blade. We need to thicken up the blade, add a deep filler, add guards, add a guard, add trillions, wrap up the handle with braided leather so it's more tactile feel, because it's too smooth with wet hands. And that'll be really more of a European type of sword. You have the counterweight, it'll be balanced, it'll be better grip, and it'll look like European sword, and it'll have a katana-like blade, still curved, but thicker with a deep fuller, and it'll be perfect hybrid of a medieval katana. In the perfect world, that's what it should be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know. I saw that blade. Gargoyle. I think it was a traditional rapier. It's a rapier sword, I think, or a fencing sword. It was one of the I got sword in the passing on the way to work. So that seems pretty cool. So the problem with that is, in order for you to come up with custom pieces like that, a sword that they're trying to keep under $200 would end up being well over $1,000, probably into the $2,000 range, if you got to completely customize this thing to make it like this hybrid. They could probably cut corners and make it around $1,000, but still, it will be it will be expensive. It will be a lot more expensive to customize it because you got to bring in a professional that's going to make up the molds and customize it just for that sword, and they have to kind of buy the molds and buy the, you know, and be able to replicate it from there. But initially it's going to be expensive to produce. So that's probably a reason why Romance of Men, that's the furthest they can go with the pieces that they have to keep the price that they have, to come up with some kind of a European flair katana. So I had to give the manufacturer the benefit of the doubt, because I thought this sword, they did a good job in trying their best to customize a Tsuba. They made a custom Tsuba with his logo on it, a custom shield. I think they did a pretty freaking good job in trying to make it something custom to Shadowversity. I personally will call it a custom Shadowversity katana. I won't call it a medieval katana. That's just me. They could call it whatever they want. I know that's what they were gearing towards, you know? So, according to whatever they did, the balance was off. It was a little slick. Made a couple suggestions what should be changed. How I think this is not really should be called a hybrid. It should be called something else. But I gave the benefit of doubt to Romance of Men out of respect to the fact that they really tried to produce a pretty good sword. And I think once you get the balance right, like, listen, with any sword you get in your hand, you got to balance it out and get it the right way so you can kind of swing it and, you know, and use it the right way. Not every sword is balanced the same. Not every sword has that perfect 4-inch POB close to the freaking Tsuba that, you know, and light and nimble. You know, some swords are heavier, some swords are balanced weight and having heavy but balanced weight. You got to treat every sword a little differently. This one really had, I felt like it was a very front heavy, so it really just threw me off a little bit. So as I was cutting with it, first cuts, I was like, wow, this thing's not even sharp. It was sharp. The edge with the edge, I couldn't get the balance in my hands right, my wrists. So, but once I more, I actually ended up having some really great freaking water bottle cuts, and at the end I had some pretty good tatami mat cuts, and then at the very end I did some more abusive tests, you know, really just jamming this thing into freaking a solid tree log attached to like a cement block on the floor, or just to see how the build held up, because you couldn't take this thing apart because it's pinned. So if it's going to loosen up, then it's going to be a fucking problem. But then, you know, you have a lost sword if everything gets loose. But it didn't. You know, I want you to watch the video, but you'll see what happened at the end. So the sword ended up being a good build. Romance of Men built a pretty good sword in accordance to whatever the requests were from Shadowversity in terms of distal taper on the blade and da-da-da-da. You know, I mean, it's not, I don't think it's a katana they would have built, because but I think they just kind of catered to whatever he wanted, what they wanted. So I think, given the benefit of doubt to Romance of Men, it's not a bad cutting sword. You know, I understand it's not, a lot of people said, no thanks, not for me. I perfectly understand. I mean, listen, Romance of Men sends to me for my opinion as far as what I think of the sword, and that's what I think of it. You know, not balanced, takes some getting used to. Couple changes to be made right off the bat on the build, that's present build. A lot more changes have to be made to really classify as a medieval katana, but even just on this build, the bracelet make it more secure in your hand with wet hands, and getting used to the balance. And if that's all done, it's a pretty good cutting sword. Sharp, spring steel, held up to abuse, and it's actually a sword that you can actually use. You know, with a couple cutting sessions, you'll be fine. But a lot of people took it by like, no, thank you. It's not, you know, whatever. Everybody has their own opinion as far as, you know, what they want to invest their money on. They don't want to invest their money on something that they don't think is a katana type style weapon. You know, I totally understand, and that's what I did. I tried to give my opinion as far as what I think it should be. So that's that. So I just want to clear, yeah, I may actually do a video about it, a follow-up video. Once I get the comments in, I want to see what people can say. It's only been up for about an hour and a half, so barely anybody's seen it. Probably 2 hours almost now. But that's that. That's the Shadowversity one. And again, it has nothing to do with Shadowversity, about me giving praise to it because it's Shadowversity and they're a big channel. I really couldn't care less about that. I mean, I don't have a relationship with Shadowversity. They never responded to my fucking tags, so it is what it is. I don't care, you know. But I obviously tag and talking about a sword that he developed, that he actually requested when he did the review. Oh, tag us and we'll like collaborate with you and we'll see what the reviews. And that's what I did, but he didn't do it. But whatever, I don't care. It could have been Matthew Jensen, which I have a friendship with. And if he developed a sword, I would give my opinion as far as how I think it was as well. So it really doesn't matter who it was. If I gave any credit to the sword whatsoever, it's because of Romance of Men and credit to the build that they did with it, and it ended up being a good cutting sword. But again, just wanted to clear the air with that. If this makes any sense, I'll probably do an actual video because these lives never really come through the right way. I don't know if people really watch them the whole way through, if they're replayed, or if they're posted. But I figured let me just kind of clear the air while I'm driving. Maybe I could get through to some people, Other than that, next one is the the video I posted yesterday, which was the open boxing reveal of new products from Cas. Really excited about Cas Siberia. Really excited about the new factory open with Hanwei. Really excited about APOC. This guy's sleeping next to me. What the fuck? His eyes were closed. Unless he was looking at his phone. That's pretty bad. APOC, which is survival tools. If you guys know APOC from years ago, APOC used to be these recreations of certain swords and hatchets and axes and freaking machetes and shit like that. That they made them like kind of like bomb-proof, whatever, I don't know, APOC-proof, apocalypse-proof. They had a coating on them, rust-proof, weather the elements, solid, non-removable parts, and just pieces that like end of days type of weaponry. And they were kind of just plain Jane, just solid, blades and solid full tang with the very full G10 handles, and that's really what they were. And they were fine for that. And I've reviewed many, the APOC freaking Wakizashi and the Tanto and the, not the katana. I never reviewed the katana. Couple of their pieces, basically. And they're fine for that, and they did a great job. They're great, really solid swords. I did a lot of crazy stuff with them. They're cool. But lately, now APOC, first of all, are getting into more knives. Now they're looking less like survival tools and more like some really trendy looking designs. Now you got Andrew Demko is designing for them. He came up with some really cool designs. Again, cost effective, solid pieces, survival type of pieces, but really nice looking designs. This stuff, yeah, Hanwei stuff is going to be good. Yeah, Hanwei stuff is going to be freaking good because Frenchie Jin, which is the owner of Dragon King or developer of Dragon King, is at the helm. So he was the one who worked with Paul Chen decades ago in developing all of the models that you see with Hanwei now, or did see, that people have grew up with. He was, his protege at that point, and he was training with Paul Chen, and he helped develop those things. So for him to come in now still and deal with Hanwei, I think is fantastic. But I'll get to that. Let me just finish up with APOC. And now have designers on board. You have Andrew Demko. We all know Andrew Demko and what he does with knives, with cold steel, and on his own, his Andrew Demko models. He's a great freaking designer. Makes some solid pieces and shit. Triad locking system. He developed it. Michael Snyder, thank you for gifting me a membership. Much love to you, my friend. I love you. Thank you. Knives Are Life. You got gifted a membership from Michael Snyder, and I sincerely appreciate it from Michael, and I appreciate it from Knives for Life. If you can continue it, much love to you. I thank you so much, Michael. All the time with all the lives. Mike, I gotta find you one day, man. I appreciate it. You must have gifted me like 10 freaking members. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Much love. Yeah, it's a great big help for me, believe me. Andrew Demko. Now you have Jason Breeden. Jason Breeden has been developing multiple pieces for Condor. Really beautiful pieces for Condor knife, okay? Venezuela, I believe it is Condor. Is it Venezuela? El Salvador. Condor's fucking, yeah, Condor's El Salvador. Great knife makers in El Salvador. And he's been producing a lot of pieces for them. Joe Flowers, if you guys know Joe Flowers, he's done 1 million pieces for Condor. He's like, Joe Flowers is pretty much the spokesperson for freaking Condor. One of them anyway. Julio Diaz produces for Condor. Jason also produces for Spyderco, which I didn't realize, and I learned afterwards. He produces knives for Spyderco. He produces for Tops. So he has a lot of designs under his belt. He's a good designer, and they got him on board to produce for APOC. He's got a line of APOC knives which are pretty damn awesome, and a sword, the Derecho sword, I believe, the Derecho sword, the Derecho sword. Which is like a sack sword, really thick spine. I showed it on on the open box and a lot of lives I just posted. Excellent freaking sword. Thing is a chop house, like sick bastard thing. I love it. And then they're all designed the same with like a Japanese influence Tsukamaki on the handle. All full tang, red and black, red G10 liners, beautiful, absolutely awesome. Nice satin finish with the stone grind finish on the top, two-tone finish on the blades, beautiful blades. Tanto-esque type of blades on the small ones. You got the pocket folder, you got the neck knife and stuff. Awesome freaking line. So they got him on. They got Mike Wallace, which produced a lot of really good pieces. So now you got APOC really taking the knife world by storm. Okay, doing whatever they're doing. And guys, if I'm missing any donations or anything, please let me know if I missed anything, because I'm not really looking at the phone. Kratos, what's up, buddy? Thanks for coming in. Anybody new that's coming in, I really appreciate it. Thanks for any new members. If you can continue with it, I love you for it. I appreciate it. Only if you can, because I know times are hard for everybody. Times are very hard for everybody. Jobs market sucks. Economy sucks, but whatever. Not here or there. So I like the direction that APOC is going. We're giving you more style for survival and giving you really nice knife pieces that they never had before. I'm looking at the pieces even that Scab has been getting and I got now. I'm like, wow, this doesn't even really feel like APOC, but it does, because it still has that solid one-piece feel type of thing, unibody feel, but it's just a style to it. It's got a fucking design to it. And I just love the direction they're going in, and I think it's only on the up and up from there. So APOC is blowing up. That's APOC. Then you got freaking also the Odachi sword that I got from APOC. The thing is freaking huge. That's a melee weapon. It's awesome. I love the damn thing. That was in the open box as well. That was pretty cool. That was a surprise. I didn't think I was going to see that. Then you have Hanwei. And now what I had said about Hanwei was that Hanwei, when it closed down the factory, we were all like sentimental about it. The people who've been around for swords for a long time grew up with Hanwei swords. Maybe some of their first swords were Hanwei swords or whatever models they were back then, and and they grew up with it, and they maybe they held some Hanwei swords for a decade or two. Kratos, that's definitely a good Starbucks cup of coffee, and I appreciate it, buddy. Much love to you, my friend. I love you all. I can't tell you how appreciative I am of you guys. I mean, you guys don't have to do this, and I know, money's tight, and for you to have to go take, anything out of your pocket to give to some schmuck on the internet when the internet, YouTube is free, I really appreciate it, and just makes me want to kind of stay on here and do the thing that I do a lot more. So I appreciate that, and these donations help out a lot to keep me going and keep I got the Tommy mats I got to purchase, so I'm kind of raising up money to get a new box of Tommy mats in, because I got to test out swords from Hanwei. So that's a big help. I appreciate Kratos. Much love to you guys. It's going to go to the channel. It all goes to the channel. It really does. And thank you for that. And thank you to new members. If you can continue, I appreciate that as well. I'm going to always thank you guys. I'm always going to show you I'm appreciative, even though I say it a million times in a row. Just deal with it. But you're going to get a lot of thank yous from me, because I am appreciative. So other than that, I lost train of freaking thought and shit. So Hanwei is when I found out that basically they were reopening the factory or making up a new factory down the block from the old factory, and that Frenchie is going to be heading it, I was like, that's it. There's nothing to worry about. And they're going to bring Hanway back. They're going to keep the Hanway name going and shit. They may not bring back all the models, but the good thing about this is that they're going to be now $12 a mat. Yeah, they're $14 a freaking mat. Depending. If you get them low quantity, they're about $14.50 a mat. And if you get them a high quantity, they go down to around $12. They're not fucking cheap. I don't know why the hell these Tommy mats got to be so damn expensive. It's really just straw mat bullshit. But they fucking take advantage of people. Well, whatever. But yeah, but they're a great cut. I love the Tommy mats. They're a great cutting medium. They really are. They give you the blend of everything that you need to test out the validity of a sword and how well it performs and cuts and handles itself. But yeah, I love the Tommy mats, so they definitely worked, and I'm always going to try to keep the Tommy mats in my sword reviews. And I know a lot of people don't. You know, a lot of people don't. And I mean, they're expensive. I don't blame them. And you know, these donations really do help in helping me raise money to kind of get these boxes in. You know, because obviously, you know, we don't get paid to review swords. We get the swords, obviously, which some people may see as a form of payment, but we're working for it. We're working for the sword. But again, I move on. And thank you again. Thank you again, buddy. Bamboo grew up. I wish I had Bamboo, bro. I've been trying to get Bamboo from Samurai Bird for a while. He's been busy and he's been promising me, but I guess he's just, life happens. It's hard for him to send it over. I even offer him, you know, I always pay for the shipping for him to kind of ship it over because I know it's expensive. But I love cutting Bamboo. Bamboo is the best thing to cut. You know why too? I like Bamboo over tatami, and I know I'm fucking changing subjects again. That's how lives are. Bamboo over tatami is better for me. I love the snap of it. I love how they cut, and I love the forceful medium it is to cut. They make less mess, and you don't have to prep them like you do with tatami mats. Tatami mats are a pain in the fucking ass. I had to make up special tubes to soak them in. I mean, it's a whole like a lot of things you got to do to prep tatamis, sort tatamis, get them soaked, get them ready, tie them up, you know, roll them up. Bamboo, basically, as long as you have to cut them while they're fresh, but even if they're not fresh, you still cut them. Basically, you just take them out of the box and cut them, and then to clean up, they're easy to pick up. Tatami mats make a damn mess, so that's why sometimes I bring tatami mats in the middle of the woods, which is a pain in the ass to bring them in and stand and all that, but that's why I do it, because they make such a mess. So yeah, I like Bamboo. In VA, it's hard to find. Yeah, no, definitely. There's certain areas that Bamboo is grown, like in VA, Virginia. I know that RVA he goes harvesting for the bamboo at a near place. I think probably gives him a couple dollars to the owner, and he harvests their bamboo. So if you're able to do that and you're fortunate enough to have that, that's, you know, it's fucking awesome. I love bamboo. I love cutting bamboo. I really do. I went to the Bronx Zoo not too long ago, and there's this area of the Himalayan mountains area for like the Himalayan mountains, like type of animals. And they had freaking huge trees of fucking bamboo. Mickey, I wanted to fucking take a knife out and cut them and walk out of the freaking Bronx Zoo with them. So much bamboo, like just all over the place, freaking 20 feet high. I'm like, holy shit, why can't I take this freaking bamboo home with me? But anyway, fresh bamboo growing there. That was awesome. But anyway, yeah, bamboo is the best, better medium and cheaper, obviously, if you could harvest it. Hard to come by though. Hard to come by. That's the problem. I gotta bust Samurai Bird's balls again to get me more bamboo. When he gets busy, I know. Getting back to the video, Hanway. So very happy to know that since they're revamping Hanway, they're only gonna reproduce the pieces. Guys, sorry if I can't really read the comments. You guys can read amongst yourselves. Purple blend. You could be planting bamboo. That's pretty cool. if you're able to, and if it grows, that's pretty freaking awesome. Alex, call you Alex. I'm dyslexic. I can't say gargoyle. Stealing from pandas. Stealing from the pandas. That's exactly it. Stealing from the fucking Bronx Zoo. 20 foot. I could get the bigger. They have like 20, 40 foot freaking high stalks of fresh bamboo, like freaking 3 inches thick, bro. I can get like 3 of those, and I could have enough bamboo to cut for fucking 10 swords. You kidding me? That would be awesome. I would love it. Holy shit. I gotta see if I can buy some bamboo from the Bronx Zoo. They'll think I'm crazy. Sabrenta, thanks buddy for coming in. Thanks for anybody coming in. I know I'm just kind of rambling on and shit. I'm just kind of just keeping myself busy doing the drive, talking about the last 2 videos that I put out. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for the gifted memberships. Thanks for being here. Thanks for liking and subscribing and all the fun stuff. And if you guys can't donate or can't join the membership, a subscription to the channel goes a very long way, believe me. You know, I'll take 1,000 more subscriptions over any donation. You know, I need to get to 10K. I'll take 10K over any. I could not get another donation as long as I could basically get to 10K. Well, not. But 10K is important. You need to get to 10K, 10,000 followers or subscribers just to keep my channel valid, and it's a tough hill to get up to. So a subscription is just as appreciative as a donation or anything else, if not even more. And I appreciate that, guys. They plant it. I mean, I guess the zoo freaking they plant the seeds and they grow it. I would imagine so. I don't know, man. I gotta talk to them. I may actually talk to them, ask them where they get the bamboo from. But it's amazing that they got fresh freaking bamboo growing. I mean, it is winter in the Bronx Zoo as well, unless they really just put it in for the season. I don't know, man. It'll be a lot of work. It looks like it's freaking planted into the ground, like it grows and shit. So they gotta fucking do something to grow it. No idea, man. Well, they bring it in already grown and just plant it. I have no clue, guys. But there's a lot of bamboo in the freaking Bronx Zoo. You know, snows in the Bronx too. You know what I'm saying? It gets cold in the Bronx Zoo too. Even though we don't really have cold winters or snow anymore. Hopefully not this year, but it's been a pretty mild winters lately. Yeah, global warming. Hello. Holy shit. Never cut dry bamboo. I have cut dry bamboo, bro. I have no problem with it, but there's certain swords that I would use to cut dry bamboo. I wouldn't do it with every sword. It's also a good testament of the sword. Listen, you have to understand, Alex, you own your swords. You pay money for your swords, and I respect you for it. I get swords for review, and I have the liberty of giving them abuse, you know, pushing them a little further to show people how much they can take. I can do that because I get them from manufacturers, and that's what I'm supposed to do. So if I have a sword and I'll cut dry bamboo with it, and I'll say, all right, listen, it survived, it didn't bend, it didn't chip, it did a great job, and you know that this particular sword was able to do that, so if you should buy it, not that you would do the same thing, but you know that it's pretty tough in the build and that it handled it. So I have no problem cutting dry bamboo. Would I cut dry bamboo with my Huawei or my Sky-Giro? Fuck no. I wouldn't. Fresh bamboo, yes, but not dry bamboo. But a sword that I'm reviewing, even though the bamboo went dry, I'll fucking cut with it just to show you if it can handle it. If it can't handle it, that's all right. Not supposed to cut with it. It did chip, but understand it's dry bamboo and it's a hard material, and that's it. It's just kind of putting into account for like what I'm doing, you know? So everybody's coming into the room or passing by, I appreciate it. Don't use a Sky-Giro on dry bamboo. That's scandalous. To be honest with you, brother, I did use it on dry bamboo. If you look at my past videos, I had a whole batch of bamboo from Samurai Bird, and they do dry up pretty damn quick because it's the winter time, and I kept them in a bucket of water forever, and it kept them for a while, and they did dry up to a certain extent, and I did cut with dry bamboo, but the sword really fucking handled itself well. It cut through it extremely well, and no damage, not even scratches. I mean, even the blade finish, whatever they did, it just, The blade is beautiful still. So it did cut through the dry bamboo, but yes, I hear you, it's scandalous, but I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't do it again. I retired this guy Giro and shit. I retired this guy Giro. Do I still have your Z? Yeah, I still have the Z-Say. It's the, what the fuck is it? Tayuden. I just did a short with it a couple days ago, 4 days ago, 5 days ago. Tayuden, I think it was. I still do have that, and it's a light cutter, but it still handled some harder materials pretty well. But it's a great sword, great light nimble sword for like trick cutters and shit, bottle cuts, some tatami mats. Practitioners will love it because it's light and nimble, and it's great for Noto. But very well built sword. You know, Z-Say does great blade finishes too. You don't even want to cut with their blade finishes. The polish work is great, like Shadow Dancer. Shadow Dancer's polish is great. They are the fucking same company. Listen, Shadow Dancer is a subsidiary of Z-Say. They can deny it all they want, but there's so much writing on the wall that they are, and they're just a subsidiary. So a lot of the same quality polish that Z-Say's done, Shadow Dancer does, regardless of the fucking steel guys. S5, 9060, I don't give a fuck. Their polishing is the same regardless of the steel. It doesn't. Just because you have well, S5 is also not what Hamon and differentially harden's different, but it's not really S5. But regardless, the blade finish and how they make their blades finish is excellent. So like Z-Say, because they're the same company. So, but yes, I do. A long answer is I still do have the Z-Say sword. That's it. Howdy, Johnsons. Hey, it's the Johnsons. Thanks, buddy. Gene coming in, Gene. Much appreciated, my friend, always. And I wish I could show you. I have, oh shit, I wish I could. I have your box, your knife in a fucking box in my back seat. I just have not had a moment to get to the post office. I'm the horrible mailing shit because I don't really mail anything. Everything's electronic with me, so it's hard for me to get. But I have it in a box, literally my back fucking seat, ready to go. So I'm gonna try. I have to get that out this week, this upcoming week. I apologize for not getting it out too soon, buddy. I don't, unfortunately. A lot of reasons. Schools are expensive, lessons are expensive, time I don't have. The only thing I can do is get to the gym, but to add going and do lessons, which I would love to, it's there's some factors there, but I would love to. I do have a friend of mine that does sword lessons and stuff, and I'm trying to hook up with him to see if I can't get in and get some stuff done, you know. But yeah, no, the long answer is no, I don't, but I really should, and I would like to. Most of everything I learned as far as handling a sword is from handling a sword for years now, and that's basically it. So I never claimed to be a practitioner or a trained practitioner or somebody who goes to school, takes classes. I'm just another idiot with a sword in the backyard, you know, with some knowledge with it, or some experience swinging a sword. So I think I can kind of give an opinion the right way. Probably more than practitioners, because they basically just deal with Noto and they don't really cut. A lot of practitioners don't cut, and they just kind of deal with the Noto and the art form of it. And they maybe handle like one sword or two swords that are probably not even sharpened, and they're not Shinkens, you know. They're Ido swords. But again, long answer to your question, no, I don't. Shady, what's up, buddy? Donald, thanks for coming in. This is a long ass video. I've been around for around 40 minutes. I just trying to talk about two videos that I just put out. One was the Shadowversity, trying to clear the air about Shadowversity sword. Romance of Men did a good build. I don't think Shadowversity was able. I don't think they were able to kind of come up with a good medieval katana hybrid. You know, I don't think that's really what it is, you know, for the most part. But I'm going to kind of put this live to a close in a little bit, because I'm just really happy. I just want to let you know also in the second part with this video I posted yesterday about the open box from Casa Iberia. I'm really happy with the direction Hanwei's going in. This new sword from Hanwei, this new heavy cutter that I introduced which I can't pronounce the name. The name escapes me right now. And something with an R, but you'll see it on their site. It's brand new, heavy cutter, brand new design. In probably over a decade, they haven't designed any new swords from Hanwei. Brand new design out of Frenchie with the new Hanwei factory, and super stoked about it. It's almost like I felt the Practical Excel for the first time. Beautiful heavy cutter. I love what they did with it. I love the details they put into it. I just love the direction that Hanwei is going in, man. Kratos, I'm gonna sign off as well, buddy. Thanks for the donation. Thanks, Michael Snyder, for the gift of the membership. I much appreciate it. Thanks for any new members. Thanks for any new subs. Much love to all of you guys. So Hanwei is going on a great direction. Shadowversity sword has its problems, but still ended up being a good build from Romance of Men. You know, that's what I want to kind of talk about with this live. I'll probably make a video separate on that. And a lot of videos coming for Cat Siberia and also APOC. Or APOC with Cat Siberia, with a lot of new pieces coming in. The new Odachi, which is an amazing freaking sword from APOC. Survival Odachi, which huge freaking 31-inch blade, I think it is. Nice big handle. It's just awesome. It's freaking melee weapon. Fantastic. Nice weight to it. Nice balance. I think it's going to be a great sword. And sharp as hell. And the stuff that Jason Breeden designed with APOC. Just really nice freaking set. You know, Japanese influenced. The Racho sword, the sack style sword that he freaking designed. All the pieces are beautiful. So I'm really excited about what APOC is direction going in. Really excited about what direction Hanwei is going in. And Cat Siberia on the up and up is going to basically take their pinnacle as they have as far as the premier sword and survival knife freaking manufacturing. Cat Siberia is doing well, and I'm really happy to be associated with them. Happy to have a friendship with Patrick and have him send me samples and being collaborator for his stuff, an influencer for his stuff and a collaborator for his stuff. So appreciative about that with these guys, and looking forward to seeing what's coming, and also the new reviews that are coming in. And again, the donations, memberships, everything's appreciated on this live, and as always, your support in trying to get me over to the 10,000 mark to make my channel more valid to more channels and more samples that I can get in. So much love to you guys. Please leave a like and a sub on the way out if you're not. And if you're replaying this, thank you for being here. Sorry for the long drawn out talk, and thank you for joining me and staying with me throughout the entire live, which is coming close to an hour. And Michael just gifted me another membership, and for Shady. Michael, I don't know what to do with you, man. I gotta hook up with you one day, man. We gotta talk. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. And any new members that have been gifted memberships from Michael, if you can keep it going, excellent. If you can't, I totally understand. And that's it, guys. Much love to you guys. Can't wait to see you in the next review. And I got something else coming up with cooking knives from Off Grid. Their Grizzly knife and their Sierra knife, which I'm trying to put out an video on that. A lot of cooking knives videos that I'm going to try to do once I get my hands on a chef or somebody who can food prep better than I can. So have a good one, everybody. Much love. Thank you for the donations. Thanks for the memberships. Thanks for the subs. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the love. And have a fantastic end to your weekend and beginning to your week coming in. Let's enjoy the summer as much as we can, guys. I'm trying to, even though it's hot. Love you guys, and have a great one. Ciao. Later, guys.